Okay, I have this here old Slag 6-pin lock. It's old, it doesn't have the thing top for it. That's where the top pins are. I'm repinning it. I didn't have a key originally for it, and it was all sticky and stuff inside, and I pulled it apart, and now I'm going to repin it with new springs and new top pins, and I'm putting security pins in the top, and I made a key. I have to figure out how to put this camera where it won't fall over. I guess it'll be alright there. Tilt it a little bit so it won't fall. Okay, this is the key, the bitting I used, I made for it. It will go in there, of course. This is an SC4. And now I'm going to put the spring. I'm going to start with the front here, and I'm going to start with the third pin on the front, and I'm going to work my way to the front with the first pin, and then I'm going to switch it over to this back here, and I'm going to use another follower, and I'm going to so I could use this thing here on it, and then I'm going to have to flip it around again to put the plug back in. But I got the new springs here. They're all the same. They're copper springs, and I'm going to go in my security pin kit and put a couple security pins in there, and this is just gonna be a lock for in my collection because it's older, I believe, and I'm planning on keeping it. Most all of them are, the top pins are mostly going to be 200, it looks like. The one that has 8 in the middle is going to be a 165. That's the one I'm working on now. Closest, I got a spool pin here that's 165. And that's going in the middle there. I'm going to put a spool pin in there, the third hole. If I can do it without shooting my eye out. Okay, there it is. It's in there. Up, it popped back out. Of course, it's gonna give me all kinds of trouble since I'm doing this on camera. Isn't that how it always is? It's gonna give me all the trouble in the world here. The pin is loose in there and can't get it out. Okay, try it now. Okay, there it is. Try this again. My phone might die because the battery's pretty low. So hopefully I can get this all on there with that. Okay, it's in there. I'm gonna put in the number 2 spot. I'm gonna put a standard pin in there. Get a spring here and put it in there. Yeah, I took this thing apart and it was full. It was so sticky. The pins were sticky when I was trying to pick it open. They were sticking up too high. So I used brake cleaner, sprayed the brake cleaner in there, and managed to get them to work a little better, and I cleaned it out after I did that. Now the first pin I'm going to put is it's one of the higher ones. It's I don't know the exact number on it. I think it was a 3, or yeah, the 3. Now that's going to be in the 237 range, and I don't have a 237, but I have I'm gonna put another spool in there. It's a 235. It's the closest I have for that. If I remember to put the spring in there first. That's the first mistake I ever made when I took a lock apart. Is I put the springs on. I put the top pins in, and then I put the springs in, and then I put the low bottom pins in, and then that was my first mistake I ever did when I first started doing this stuff. And I went to turn the key and messed all the springs up. Now I'm gonna flip this. Flip the this follower around. Hopefully this one here is the right size so I can use it for the back three. Find it easier to use this kind with that to do it, but I'll have to use it to put this in. I gotta get the pins for that. I do remember some of the numbers on there. I will have to use the gauge on there, I think, to get a couple of them. Since that third one was a security pin, I'm gonna put a standard pin in there. I just do every other one a security pin of some kind. I don't have a serrated pin in there yet, so I'm gonna put one in now in this fourth spot. This originally had 5 pins in it. I just made that key because I had a key that was an SC9 and it didn't fit in here, so I had to change it. Okay, that's a higher one. That's a number 3, I think, also. But I'm gonna use a serrated pin. I'm gonna use I have a number 172 here. I'm gonna put in there. It's a little bit longer. I don't have anything close to 137. I don't. Closest thing I have is 155, and it's quite small. Okay, the last spring and last top pin. Then I gotta figure out the key pins, and this one's gonna be a standard also. Because it's a longer pin, I'm going to use a little bit of a longer top pin. Or so the key pin's going to be longer. Oh, I should have used the short one. Never mind. Maybe I'll put a T pin in there if I got one. I don't see any in here. I'll put a spool in there. I don't have the grinder doesn't have maybe I got a T-pin over here. It would be nice to have a T-pin. At the bottom, I guess. I ain't got no T-pins. This spool is a little bit a deeper spool than the ones I put in there, so I'll put that in there. I just think that's probably one I I was gonna use a challenge lock and never did when I doctored up for it. It's a spool, but it's deeper cut than stock spools, or I guess you could say, or regular spools. Okay. Okay, the top is done. Now for the bottom. I moved my security pins over to here, as well as those. I had T-pins in there. I'm gonna swap that spool I just put in there. I guess I'll swap the one I had put in the front and with a T-pin. Since I already swapped this around already, I'll just change that. Okay, there. T-pin in there. I knew I had T-pins, I just didn't know where they were. They're in the little... Hopefully the camera's still going. Okay. Let's see how good a memory I have here. 1 and 5 is 3. Should have wrote it down. No, actually 2 and 4 are 3s. 2 and 4 are 3s. So 1 and 5 is 5s. And 3 and 6 are 8s. 3 and 6 are 8s. Now let's see how good my memory is on that and how well that key is made. Finger over there so they don't fly out. And they all are flush. I was right on that. Wait a second. I'll double check on this here real quick. The second one is supposed to be that number, but it's actually a little bit shorter than the other one, so that one was a 3, so I'm going to go with a and it fell out already. Okay, let's throw that in there. That was a 3. I'm going to go with something a little bit small, a little bit higher up than and 210. I'm going to try a 213 on that one, because that one there was actually just a tad lower than the other one was. And it looks like it's right on there. So I don't understand that key machine. It cuts some goofy pins, or goofy key. Okay, now that one's there is a little high. A little trick to fix that, since I don't want to go through all the bloody pins again. A little trick to get right size pin and just file it down a little. And I just mean a little, because it's really close. It just all the rest are flush. I ain't going in no locks or anything. It's just gonna be in my collection, so I can do what I want with it, as long as it works. And it doesn't work. That would figure. Something's not right with this. Can't even get the key out. All because I did it on camera. Okay. Time for some brute force to get that key out of there. Put the back on it. See why this key is not coming out. Hate when this happens. This is like the third time this has happened to me ever, where the key won't turn and it won't work. Mostly on challenge locks it does that to me, not on a regular lock. Okay, I'll try and break this key doing this. Came out. Something is just not working right. It might be that one pin I had to replace. Might have been the right one to put in there. Anyway, I gotta fix this. Thank you for watching.